Saturday, November 2nd, and I'm back at it again with the LS swap for Erik's Firebird. That's right, the fire chicken. Now, I went ahead and picked up a pulley puller from our local O'Reilly's in Longview, Washington. I'm going to go ahead and pull that off so I can pull the power steering off and then start on cleaning the front of the motor so I can paint it. Went ahead, got a fire going. Yeah, let's hit it. Alright, this should go pretty dang smooth. It pays to have the right tools. Now you might be asking yourself, why are you taking all this stuff off? You're just going to have to put it right back on. Well, I mean, because look, the power steering itself has probably been leaking for who knows how long. I'm going to be going with a lot of billet aluminum stuff, you know, like pulley for the power steering, harmonic balancer, maybe, I don't know if you can get billet aluminum and harmonic balancer, but yeah, I want to pull all this stuff off. That way I can clean it, paint it, make it look really good. That way when it goes in the car, we're set. It looks really good. Oh, don't mind me. You know, just being weird, yeah. AKA being myself. Pontiac glue from Duplicolor. Engine enamel, you know, the stuff that's going to last at least a little bit when the motor tends to heat out. Now, Richard gets the side there on the front. I'm not too worried about spraying the front of the case because we're going to end up taking it off. And I'm going to paint the case black. Got a new seal for it. New front seal, new rear seal. Some people are probably thinking, now, why wouldn't you just get it powder coated? Well, what's the fun of that? Plus, powder coat costs a lot. Not necessarily cost a lot, but more than I'm wanting to pay, that's for sure. I'm going to have to eventually take the intake off and get in there.
Yep.
Pontiac blue. Yep, that's what we're going for. It's nice and blue there, Richardo.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, I'll end up taking the front casing all the way off, changing out the seal. Casing itself will be black, also with high temp paint. And to be honest, you're not going to see a lot of that once you put the water pump back on the motor. But hey, it'll look good for like what, maybe 100 miles. Go for it. There's one. There's two. So what Richard was doing there was actually drilling the fourth motor mount hole that is on the subframe. Well, that is now on the subframe. We were thinking about using that hole down there, but I mean, why not have all four corners of the motor mount, you know, actually mounted to the subframe? So there we go. There's another hole in the subframe on each side, but you know what? The motor will be a lot more secure, I guess. We'll clean it up, give it a paint job eventually. You know, I like that you've had your cigarette in your mouth the entire time as you're in there cleaning. So, pardon me, I've been under the weather, but we noticed that shit ton. Oh man! So we noticed there's a ton of oil buildup. I was kind of thinking it was the seal to the transmission, but after Richard pulled the torque converter off. Yeah, pardon me. Like I said, I'm under the weather. This is bone, well, it's not, it's dirty now, but it was bone dry. So ultimately what's going to happen is I have a new seal for the crank of the motor, so that's going to get replaced. And we're going to go ahead and change the seals out on the transmission just because, why not? So we'll be able to pull these ones out, maybe get some part numbers off of them and reference and get some new ones. Moving along. No, I'm not going to paint it darker blue. I'm sorry, guys. Well, with cleaner and oil everywhere, we cleaned up the transmission, put a new front seal in it, put a new rear seal in it, and clean the outside of it a little bit. Maybe take that mount off. This transmission mount's not going to work. And we're back to the motor since it's dry now. Stoke the fire. Taking the front plate off, which we got a new seal for that, but we're going to paint that. Check out the chain on the inside. Keep on moving. Go ahead and close this up. Oh no! There it goes. As you can tell, we have a top quality fireplace here in the shop. Yeah, man, we're moving along. Yeah, the internals look really good, man.
Mm-hmm. That's because it's on the, not even on a fucking compression or exhaust stroke kit.
Well, I mean, chain's a little loose.
No, that's on the outside. That's because it's not on a stroke yet.
Oh, okay.
Once again.
Well, it looks like Richard actually stumbled upon something awesome. Check it out, man. Go for it. So that's the original driveline to the Firebird. 27 spline, 4L60E, 6-speed, right on. I don't know. Measure that transmission and then measure this transmission to see if they're the same length.
Yep.
That's the thing to think of.
Well, you got to figure the motor's sitting further back, so there's going to be a different measurement.
Yeah. So I mean,
driveline length for the slip.
The driveline fits, but we need to see if it's going to be long enough once we finally put it in the car. That's the thing. Well, it's going to have to wait though. We're going to put a couple more coats on the motor. Paint some more parts up here in a minute. They're hanging up. Then, yeah, I mean, I don't know. But yeah, just measure the transmission real quick. What does that say?
31 and 7/8.
And that's the Pontiac transmission. 29 or less than 29.
Yeah, 28 and 3/8.
Well, we may be looking at a custom length driveline. Well, obviously, we're looking at a custom length driveline, but the yoke fits, right?
Yep, slip yoke fits.
That's pretty cool. Custom length driveline it is. Why not? All aluminum.
Yep.
Well, we went ahead and focused on the wiring of the motor because it's something I've been actually thinking of doing since I got the motor. Which, you know, the thing is I may reuse it. I don't know. Maybe I'll get a standalone harness. But I do know I want to take the valve covers off, clean them up, maybe paint them, maybe get different ones. I don't know. For right now, Richard is frantically unplugging everything, and I am not going to know how that goes back together. You know that? I do. I'm telling you. But, yeah. Still a little bit back here, the block to spray paint. You got to take those sensors off. I'm going to leave the intake on for now because I don't feel like getting stuff in the motor itself. And then a couple more coats of the motor with some Pontiac blue dupe color. Moving right along, man. It's pretty dang soon. Richard over there, he's just like gung-ho. He wants to put the motor in. No, he wants to fire the motor up on the stand. Yeah, that's what Richard wants to do. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I've watched YouTube videos, but I don't want to do that. No, we're going to end up putting the motor in the car before we put a battery and fuel to it. But moving right along. So I'm taking time away from building what is called the fire chicken, right?
Yeah.
And explain what I have to help you with.
Simple, very simple.
Very simple.
If you can't do this,
What am I helping you with then? What am I helping you with?
Put one of my socks.
Put one sock on?
Well, we're gonna start with the hardest one.
All right.
You can't do
No, I won't put them on.
The doctor says
Your feet don't stink though?
No,
He
they don't
is
stink.
bugging
All right.
you.
Yeah, you can't bend over 90 degrees.
Oh, I'm not gonna. Man, you really did strip it. That's pretty quick too. So what do we have? Coil pack,
Coil pack.
left and right.
Coil pack, yep.
Still connected. Well, yeah.
Nope, it's not connected.
Not connected.
And there's all your wiring harness for your injectors.
Yep.
Mass airflow
Brain.
sensor.
We're gonna have to. I'll end up putting that maybe in the trunk of the car or the back seat,
Back seat.
front seat, whatever.
AC.
A seat. Yep.
Gotta clean that motor.
We got all the wiring now off the motor in the front seat. Isn't that cool though? I got the original steering wheel to this car. It's missing the middle emblem, which I found on eBay at one time. But quick tip: always keep your old gaskets. Either take a picture of them, keep them, take them with you to the parts store. That way you know you're gonna get OEM replacement parts. Now that I'm taking a video, everyone knows that, right? It's the best thing to do. Keep all your gaskets. Keep all your seals. That way when you get to the hardware store, or the parts store, that way when you get to the parts store, yeah, you don't know what to get. You have the drive lines in the back there. Moving right along. Let's see how bare this motor is now. Nothing but fuel rails, a ratchet, and intake. Find a box to put these in. We can take the coils off. I mean, why not? I mean, I guess we're at that stage right now.
Yep.
Leave the fuel rail in there.
I would take this off too because.
No, I'm not going to take it off right now.
Well, I unbolt it because you have this is your cam sensor.
Yeah.
Your camshaft sensor. That's your crank sensor right here.
Okay.
So if we look
The more
at
you
that,
know.
Look at this and see what we're going to need. The parts.
Cam sensor.
Plug in, and then your crank sensor right there.
Crank sensor. So how many prongs does that one have? 3. This one has 2.
Yep.
Okay. So we got the front case cleaned up, and we have the power steering pump bracket cleaned up. We're gonna add more engine enamel from Duplicolor. This time I went with the gloss black. Yeah. This paint is gonna run like crazy, just like the Pontiac Blue did. At least I'll take it easy. I'll pretend like I know what I'm doing, all right? When my dad comes back, he'll be like, why is the loft black? It's kind of swaying from one side to the next, but it's okay, we'll work with it. The spray paint is literally moving it. Every time it moves, I take a stroke. That's what she said. You know, another good thing about somewhat putting some blue paint on the casing here is then you know it's covered once you paint it, because you don't see any more blue, right? You see black. This is probably going to get 2 coats too, because dude, these cans of spray paint actually last a long time. Bracket, it's going to move on into, why not? I'm too short. Maybe I got to stop. Oh, I touched that. That's cool. And yes, we are putting a new seal in the casing. That's why it doesn't matter to paint it. But see, you leave the old seal in, and then you paint over that, you won't get any paint actually in the important part of the seal. Yeah. Well, I think that's going to do it for today. We have a couple coats on the LS1 with the Pontiac Blue from Duplicolor. The fire is dying down. And we'll go ahead and turn off the, what I refer to as the Pusher 2000 back there. That's actually pushing the heat of the fireplace here throughout the shop. But yeah, we're going to end off here and then come back hopefully next weekend. Start in on it.